Welcome to Mindful Mastery. Today, we explore the idea of a participating universe, a reality that responds, reflects, and evolves with you. This isn't just philosophy, it's a living truth. Your thoughts ripple outward, your actions shape the field, and your presence matters. So if you've ever felt like the universe was whispering back, you're not imagining it. Let's dive in. A participatory universe. Ancient wisdom meets quantum reality. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, awakening to itself. Opening portal. Set the tone and awaken curiosity through poetic exploration of consciousness and reality's participatory nature. Hermetic foundations. Explore ancient wisdom traditions that recognized consciousness as the foundation of reality. Quantum parallels. Discover how modern physics validates millennia-old insights about the observer's role in creation. Conscious creation. Learn practical approaches to engaging with reality as an active co-creator. Hidden knowledge. Trace the historical lineage of participatory cosmology through civilizations and discoveries. Integration. Synthesize ancient wisdom and quantum insights into a lived understanding of participatory reality. Embark on a transformative journey that bridges the mystical insights of ancient traditions with the revolutionary discoveries of quantum physics, revealing the profound truth that consciousness doesn't merely observe reality, it participates in its very creation. The observer awakens. We stand at the threshold of a profound realization that has been whispered through the ages by mystics, sages, and now quantum physicists alike. The universe is not a mechanical clockwork ticking away in predetermined patterns, but rather a vast, conscious symphony in which every observer plays an instrumental role. This is the essence of the participatory universe, a concept pioneered by physicist John Wheeler, who proposed that reality doesn't simply exist, out there, waiting to be discovered. Instead, it emerges through the very act of observation, measurement, and conscious engagement. We are not passive witnesses to cosmic events. We are active participants in the ongoing creation of reality itself. What if the ancients knew this all along? What if the sacred texts, mystical traditions, and esoteric teachings that have survived millennia contain the same fundamental truth that quantum mechanics is now revealing through mathematical precision? The invitation before us is profound. To step consciously into our role as co-creators of the reality we experience. The universe is not only queerer than we suppose, but queerer than we can suppose. JBS Haldane, the thrice great messenger, origins of Hermetic wisdom. In the sacred halls of ancient Alexandria, where Greek philosophy met Egyptian mysticism, emerged the figure of Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great messenger who bridged the realms of divine wisdom and earthly understanding. Neither fully historical nor entirely mythical, Hermes represents the synthesis of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian deity Thoth, embodying the principle of divine communication and hidden knowledge. The Corpus Hermeticum, attributed to this legendary figure, contains dialogues that explore the fundamental nature of reality, consciousness, and humanity's relationship to the divine cosmos. These texts, preserved through the Dark Ages and rediscovered during the Renaissance, speak of a universe that is inherently mental in nature, a concept that would find startling resonance in the quantum discoveries of the 20th century. The vision of Poimandres. In the first treatise of the Corpus Hermeticum, Hermes receives a vision from Poimandres, the mind of sovereignty, who reveals the true nature of creation. This mystical text describes reality as emerging from divine thought, with consciousness as the primary creative force. The vision presents a cosmos where mind and matter are not separate entities, but different expressions of a unified divine intelligence. The Emerald Tablet, perhaps the most famous Hermetic text, encodes this wisdom in cryptic verses that speak of the interconnectedness of all levels of existence. Its famous maxim, "As above, so below," suggests a fractal or holographic universe where the same patterns repeat at every scale, an insight that modern physics would later validate through discoveries in quantum field theory and cosmology. Mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Reality emerges from consciousness, not the reverse. This principle suggests that what we perceive as physical matter is actually crystallized thought or mental energy in its densest form. Correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. The patterns that govern the cosmos are reflected at every scale, from the atomic to the galactic. This principle reveals the holographic nature of reality. Vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. All existence is in constant motion, resonating at different frequencies. Matter and energy are simply different rates of vibration of the same fundamental substance. Polarity. Everything is dual. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Hot and cold, light and dark, positive and negative are not separate forces, but varying degrees of the same phenomenon. Rhythm. Everything flows out and in. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The universe operates in cycles, with every action generating a corresponding reaction, every rise followed by a fall. Cause and effect. Every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Nothing happens by chance in a universe governed by law. What appears as luck or accident operates according to higher laws we may not perceive. Gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Creation requires both receptive and active principles working in harmony across all. Planes of existence. When physics meets mysticism. The observer effect. In the early 20th century, physicists made a startling discovery that would shake the foundations of scientific materialism. When studying subatomic particles, they found that the very act of observation seemed to influence the behavior of what was being observed. An electron, for instance, behaves as a wave of probability when unobserved, but collapses into a definite particle when measured. This quantum mystery, known as the observer effect, suggests that consciousness plays a fundamental role in determining physical reality. The universe, it seems, exists in a state of infinite potential until the moment of conscious observation crystallizes one possibility into manifest experience, precisely what Hermetic texts had described as the mental nature of creation. Quantum entanglement. Perhaps even more mysterious is the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, where particles that have interacted remain mysteriously connected regardless of the distance separating them. Einstein famously called this spooky action at a distance, but experimental verification has confirmed that information can indeed be transmitted instantaneously across vast distances. This quantum non-locality mirrors the Hermetic principle that all things are connected within a unified field of consciousness. If reality is fundamentally mental rather than material, then the apparent separation between objects becomes illusory. They are all modifications of the same underlying cosmic mind. Wheeler's radical vision. John Archibald Wheeler, the visionary physicist who coined the term black hole, proposed perhaps the most radical interpretation of quantum mechanics. His delayed choice experiment suggested something almost incomprehensible. The decisions we make in the present can retroactively determine what happened in the past. The participatory universe. Wheeler argued that we live in a participatory universe, where conscious observers don't simply discover pre-existing facts about reality, they participate in the creation of those facts. In his famous thought experiment, the path a photon took billions of years ago through space depends on the measurement choice made by an observer today. This challenges our fundamental assumptions about time, causality, and the nature of existence itself. Reality, Wheeler suggested, is not a collection of objects existing independently out there, but rather an ongoing process of becoming that requires conscious participation to unfold. It from bit. In his later years, Wheeler developed the concept of it from bit, the idea that all physical entities are information theoretic in origin. Every material thing, he proposed, derives its very existence from binary choices, from bits of information processed by conscious observers. This information-based view of reality remarkably parallels the Hermetic principle of mentalism. If the universe is fundamentally composed of information rather than matter, then consciousness, the processor of information, becomes the primary creative force in the cosmos. Consciousness as field. Beyond the brain. Traditional neuroscience views consciousness as emerging from brain activity, but quantum theories suggest consciousness might be a fundamental field that the brain accesses rather than creates. Quantum fields. Just as electromagnetic fields permeate space, consciousness might exist as a non-local field that can be tapped into by sufficiently complex systems like human brains. Holographic mind. Some theories propose that consciousness operates holographically, with each part containing information about the whole four mirroring the Hermetic maxim, as above, so below. Morphic resonance. Biologist Rupert Sheldrake's theory suggests that consciousness creates informational fields that influence the behavior of similar systems across space and time. Collective unconscious. Carl Jung's concept of a shared psychological field containing universal patterns resonates with both Hermetic teachings and quantum field theories of consciousness. The alchemy of thought. Mentalism in practice. The Hermetic principle of mentalism teaches that thoughts are not merely ephemeral mental events, but actual forces that shape reality. In quantum terms, our thoughts and beliefs function as observers, collapsing probability waves into specific outcomes. When we hold clear intention with emotional resonance, we're not engaging in wishful thinking. We're participating in the fundamental creative process of the universe. This isn't about positive thinking or manifestation as popularized by New Age movements, but about understanding the deeper mechanics of consciousness-reality interaction. Our beliefs act as filters that determine which aspects of infinite possibility we experience. Change the filter of belief, and you change the reality that manifests through your experience. Vibrational alignment. The principle of vibration reveals that everything in the universe, from thoughts to emotions to physical matter, exists as energy in motion at different frequencies. To consciously participate in creation, we must learn to align our internal vibration, our emotional and mental state, with the frequency of our desired outcomes. This alignment isn't achieved through force or willpower, but through a process the ancient Hermeticists called vibrational matching. By cultivating emotional states that resonate with our intentions, we create coherence between our inner world and the reality we wish to experience, much like tuning a radio to receive a specific frequency. The Trinity of Creation. Belief. Your fundamental assumptions about what's possible act as the foundation upon which reality constructs itself. Beliefs function as quantum filters, determining which probabilities can manifest in your experience. Examine limiting beliefs inherited from culture and family. Cultivate beliefs aligned with your highest vision. Remember, beliefs are choices, not facts. Intention. Clear, focused intention acts as the directing force that guides consciousness toward specific outcomes. It's the difference between random quantum fluctuations and purposeful creation. Set intentions from your heart, not just your mind. Be specific yet allow for higher possibilities. Hold intention lightly, without attachment to how it unfolds. Attention. Where you place your attention is where you direct the creative power of consciousness. Attention is the mechanism through which the observer effect operates in your daily life. Practice mindful awareness of your attention patterns. Focus on what you wish to amplify, not what you wish to avoid. Use meditation to strengthen your attention muscle. Ancient Egypt, the source waters. Temple mysteries. The great temples of ancient Egypt were not merely places of worship, but sophisticated consciousness. Laboratories where initiates learned to work directly with the creative forces of the universe. The mystery. Schools of Memphis, Heliopolis, and Thebes preserved knowledge of reality's participatory nature for thousands of years before the Greek philosophers arrived to learn from Egyptian priests. Hieroglyphic texts speak of the word of creation, the primordial sound or thought through which the god Ptah brought the universe into being through speech. This concept remarkably parallels both the quantum notion that observation creates reality and the modern understanding that information is the fundamental substrate of existence. The pyramid complex. Recent archaeological discoveries suggest that the Great Pyramids were far more than tombs. They appear to have been designed as consciousness amplification devices. The precise mathematical proportions, alignment with stellar phenomena, and internal acoustic properties all point to structures designed to facilitate altered states of consciousness and direct experience of reality's participatory nature. The pyramid texts, among humanity's oldest spiritual literature, describe the pharaoh's journey through death and rebirth as a conscious participation in cosmic cycles. These texts reveal an understanding that consciousness doesn't merely observe these cycles, but actively participates in their unfolding, becoming one with the creative principle that governs all existence. Renaissance rediscovery. 1460s, Ficino's translation. First, Marsilio Ficino translates the Corpus Hermeticum in Florence, sparking a revolution in Western thought. These ancient texts challenge medieval worldviews and plant seeds for the scientific revolution. Second, 1530s, Agrippa's synthesis Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa publishes 3 books of occult philosophy, synthesizing Hermetic principles with emerging natural philosophy, influencing figures like Johannes Kepler and Galileo. Third, 1600s, Bruno's vision. Giordano Bruno, drawing on Hermetic teachings, proposes an infinite universe filled with countless worlds, a concept that predates modern cosmology by centuries and costs him his life. Fourth, 1650s, Isaac Newton secretly studies alchemy and Hermetic texts, spending more time on these pursuits than on his published scientific work. His understanding of universal forces bears Hermetic influence. The rediscovery of Hermetic texts during the Renaissance didn't merely influence art and philosophy. It planted conceptual seeds that would eventually blossom into quantum physics. The idea that mind and matter are intimately connected, that consciousness plays a role in physical processes, and that the universe operates according to hidden sympathies and correspondences all found their way into the emerging scientific worldview, even when not explicitly acknowledged. Modern pioneers. Carl Jung. Jung's exploration of the collective unconscious revealed psychological patterns that operate beyond individual minds, suggesting a field of shared consciousness that remarkably parallels Hermetic teachings about universal mind. His concept of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences, points to an underlying order that connects psyche and matter in ways that transcend simple causality. David Bohm, the renowned quantum physicist, proposed that reality consists of an implicate order, an underlying realm where everything is interconnected that unfolds into the explicate order of manifest reality. This vision closely mirrors Hermetic teachings about the mental universe and suggests consciousness plays a fundamental role in the unfolding of reality. Nassim Haramein. Haramein's unified field theory attempts to bridge quantum mechanics and general relativity through geometric principles that echo ancient sacred geometry. His work suggests that consciousness and the physical universe emerge from the same underlying geometric matrix, a modern expression of Hermetic correspondence principles. The eternal return. The Great Convergence. We stand at a remarkable moment in human history where ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science are converging on the same fundamental truth. Reality is participatory, consciousness is primary. And we are not separate from the universe, we observe but intimately, woven into its very fabric. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, finds validation in holographic theories of reality. The principle of mentalism resonates with quantum theories that place consciousness at the foundation of physical processes. The idea that thought creates reality, once dismissed as primitive superstition, now finds support in experimental quantum mechanics. This convergence isn't coincidental, for it represents the eternal return of perennial wisdom, dressed now in the language of mathematics and experimental verification, but pointing to the same essential truth that mystics and sages have proclaimed across cultures and centuries. Living the truth. Understanding the participatory nature of reality isn't merely an intellectual exercise. It's an invitation to consciously engage with the creative process of existence itself. Every moment offers an opportunity to participate in the universe's ongoing creation through our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions. This participation requires responsibility. If we are co-creators of reality rather than victims of circumstance, then our inner work becomes cosmic work. Healing our personal patterns contributes to healing the collective consciousness. Expanding our awareness contributes to the universe's awakening to itself. The ancient promise encoded in Hermetic texts and now validated by quantum physics is profound. You are not a separate being having experiences in an alien universe. You are the universe having experiences through the vehicle of your individual consciousness. The universe through you. You are the universe. Awakening to itself. In this moment of reading these words, you are the universe looking at itself through your eyes, thinking about itself through your mind, feeling itself through your heart. The same consciousness that moves the stars, grows the flowers, and spins the galaxies is the consciousness reading these words right now. You are not in the universe, you are the universe, temporarily focused into the magnificent instrument of human awareness. Every thought you think, every choice you make, every emotion you feel is the universe participating in its own evolution, exploring its infinite potential through your unique perspective. You are the observer. Through your awareness, quantum possibilities collapse into manifest reality. Your consciousness is not separate from the creative process, for it is the creative process, locally focused. You are the creator. Your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions are not merely personal experiences, but creative forces that shape the reality you encounter. You are always creating, always choosing which possibilities to make manifest. You are the participant. The universe is not happening to you. It is happening through you and as you. Every moment is an opportunity to consciously participate in the cosmic dance of creation, to co-create reality with the infinite intelligence that you are. The universe is not only queerer than we suppose, but queerer than we can suppose. And the queerness might be that we are both the observers and the observed, both the question and the answer, both the seeker and the sought. In the deepest truth, there is no separation, only the one appearing as the many, the infinite playing the game of being finite, the eternal dancing in time. Here is mantra you can say. I am not separate from the universe. I am a voice within it, a pulse, a presence. My intentions ripple outward. My actions shape the field. I participate with love, with clarity, with trust. Thank you for walking this path with me. The universe is not distant, it's intimate, intelligent, and listening. Every choice you make, every intention you hold is part of a greater dance. If this episode sparked something in you, share it below. I'd love to hear your reflections. Subscribe to continue this journey, and remember, you are not alone. You are a participant in the unfolding of everything.